All right, Fresh. Let's go to the state of North Carolina. Hey, this is a fascinating one here, Fresh, because you know, I don't know if any of us saw this one come. North Carolina Tar Heels, they're 8-3 on the year, 4-3 in the ACC. They're going to face their rivals, NC State, in Raleigh, and NC State is 8-3 on the year, 5-2 in the conference. Man, Fresh, I'll let you roll with this one first because this game really fascinates me because again, who had this at the beginning of the year? Who had NC State at 8-3 on the year and doing what they're doing? Brennan Armstrong looks like he's back. He will play in this football game. I know he battled injuries, but looks like he's back and starting to pick up some steam where he left off.
Well, first off, Carolina, just a major disappointment. Um, Drake May, obviously the whole Tez Walker situation of eligibility and whatnot that whole went down during summer and into the first couple weeks of the year. Um, but we expected a lot more. You have the leading rusher in the country. You have a great quarterback, but still, it just feels like it's lacking something. You lose to
Right,
Virginia, you
right.
lose to Georgia Tech. Your offense is no shows against Clemson on the road, against an average Clemson football team who's decided to play good football the past couple of weeks, and they've come back and turned it around. But you've no showed. The defense actually hasn't been atrocious like it has been in the past. This is actually probably the best Carolina defense we've seen in maybe a decade. That's either says really how bad the defenses in the past were or how improved this is, but it is what it is, and you've wasted it. We expected a Carolina, Florida State playing for the title, and we're going to get Louisville. And you know what? Hats off to Louisville for being resurgent and getting through and getting where they need to go. But this is there's rumors about Mac Brown retiring. He'll come out in the 80, come out and saying it's not happening. I don't think it is. I think Mac Brown loves to challenge, but something's got to change there in Chapel Hill because this is just another underachievement that we've seen. We've seen ups and downs, and we're kind of waiting for that consistency from the Carolina, football team to really take the next step. Um, is this the game where they come out here and they get payback and they just take out anger on NC State, the in-state rival, just down the road in Carter Finley? Or is this another one where they kind of trip up at 8-4, fall on their face, and go to a bowl game somewhere and just move on with the season? You waste Drake May goes off to the pros, and you're kind of stuck trying to figure out how and where we're going to go from here. This is I think a major crossroads for Carolina football. Where are they going to go from here? Um, on the other side, NC State quietly 8-3. I think we expected Brennan Armstrong to come in here, reuniting with his former offense coordinator at Virginia and putting some major points up on the board and really being an offense. But it's been the defense that's played amazing for NC State. The Wolfpack been getting after it. Armstrong has actually struggled. He had some injuries. He was benched for a little bit. Now he's back the past 2 weeks. He's finally sort of playing some smarter football. But this NC State football team under Dave Dorn has been collectively just growing week over week over week. You look at they lost early to Notre Dame. There's a huge thunder lightning storm. They had a huge delay. There's the whole stadium is ready to go, and they had like a 45-minute to an hour, or maybe 2 hour delay in that ball game. And then Esteve comes out and puts it a touchdown on the board, and it's kind of over at that point. They lose 13-10 to Louisville. They played Louisville real tough, and then lose to Duke in a very inexplicable way. They kind of got owned by Duke in that ball game. So it's other than that, they've actually played really good football. They've been very mindful. They took down Clemson, and they're focused. In these past 2 weeks, Brendan Armstrong, 18 for 26, 203, 2 touchdowns, 21 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then last week, 12 for 17, 113 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 15 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. The leading rusher for the Wolfpack in both those games. He has not turned the ball over, been very smart with the football, moved the chains, got points on the board, took care of business. Kind of feels like he got his feet back under him and moving the team and moving them in the right direction. I actually like NC State in this football game. I think that their defense is better. Armstrong is playing a little more focused right now at a better point. They're at home. It just feels like a game where it's a prove it game. 9-3 is a lot better than 8-4. Both these teams have a chance. 9-3 gives you a chance to go get that 10 wins. We saw in 2021 they were had 9-win football team going to play in the Holiday Bowl, and then UCLA had some issues with COVID and whatnot. They had to cancel the game. They didn't get that 10 wins. and it kind of really stung with them and hurt them. I think they didn't really recover last year like we thought they were going to get that payback. This is your chance to make up for 2021. Get this 9th win, go to a bowl, have a chance to get the 10th win. Big opportunity right now for NC State. Brandon Armstrong, you didn't win much when you're at Virginia. I'm putting faith in you, and I'm putting faith in Dave Doran and the Wolfpack. They're going to get it done. They're going to take out Carolina. Wolfpack all the way, a Wolfpack party. I'm going to say 27-21, a late drive by Armstrong to win it for the Wolfpack. And big things happen there in Carter Finley. And moving forward, I have a chance for a 10-win season.
Fresh, this North Carolina State defense is pretty awesome. You know, take a look at what they've done on the year. 15 interceptions, but not a single guy has more than 2 interceptions in that defense. Like, that's remarkable. That means that the system that they have incorporated over there for the Wolfpack is really an effective system. And then you take a look at, if you start talking to yourself, okay, well, all right, if I'm UNC and I'm recovering from a Clemson loss and I'm not really meeting my expectations, I have to stay focused. I have to stay like, hey, just like you said, both of these teams will have an opportunity of a 10-win season. I think that means a boatload more to NC State than it does North Carolina. North Carolina had high expectations. Everyone expected Florida State, UNC in the ACC title game. NC State, people are going, man, if they win 7 games, good job out of you. Like, man, good. But, man, if NC State could get to a 10-win season, be huge. Be absolutely huge for that program there. I think it'd be huge for recruiting. It really shows because NC State, the one thing they've been up and down offensively over the 3 years of us doing this podcast here, Fresh. But the one thing David Dorn's done really, really well every time we've talked about NC State has been that defense. That defense has been remarkable. They've been lights out. They're an attacking defense right there. If North Carolina is going to win in this game, it's going to have to be Amarion Hampton has got to be the lead running back in this game. You see that Drake May is starting to run more in the last 2 games. He's having more carries. We talked about at the beginning of the year how he needed to become more of a pocket passer. I think that, you kind of slip back to the mean in this game. I'll be interested to see this one. I got NC State in this win as well. I don't know why. I feel like all the air is out of the balloon for the Tar Heels, especially, you had that big win in double overtime against Duke. Everyone's flying high, and then you kind of just against Clemson. So, NC State, you talked about, they haven't lost since middle of October. They had back-to-back wins, even though they were at home, but back-to-back wins against Clemson and then Miami. There's something special going on there. Brennan Armstrong, I think he's going to remind that he is a pretty good quarterback. He might not be a great quarterback, but a nice college quarterback to really put a feather in his cap and at the end of his career.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think extra motivation for him is, you know what? You've gone through some trials and tribulations. You put a bunch of numbers at Virginia on bad teams. You have a chance of being a true winner and going out there and getting, something accomplishing from a team standpoint that you haven't done before. That's extra motivation to go get it done. And I'm excited to see what they can do on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.